Hey everybody, welcome to the Utterly Pointless channel. This is Lionel again. I just wanted to thank the people who were very instrumental in making it a good birthday for me today. I just wanted to thank you again for the awesome triple chocolate cake and the constant birthday wishes throughout today. Like literally every 5 minutes, thank you, Care Bear, you're the best. So, and I'm not talking about some Care Bear that I actually have at home. That would be awkward. But anyway, more awkward is the title of this video. I'm sure you've seen it already and probably shaking your head, but this is all it's about. Got some Shadowbringer fun. This team was able to defeat Caliban, one of the false gods, not for good, I guess. I don't know how far things get to be at level 1000 pertaining to Caliban, but let's just say he puts his big boy shorts on and steps it up. So he also has a little toady that you can scrap with quite by surprise once you get past level 500. So I am currently at, I think, 785 or 6 or so. Yep, so this is my team makeup right now. So it is Shadowbringer still, but I was able to defeat all of the gods at Gate of the Gods, including Caliban, at level 10. So there we are. That's everything. I think I did fight him. Yeah, see? Not making it up. So there is everything, and this is the most beautiful thing that I have collected in the game besides the nether gem that I just got, but that is this little perk for Shadowbringer. It's called Endwalker, and it makes things beautiful when it comes to being able to finish things off. So unfortunately, in some avatar fights, or rather in some false god fights, this doesn't seem to be having an effect. Parts of a god will keep on coming back, false god rather. But this makes everything a nice big garbage disposal game-wise that you can dump creatures into without having them trouble you just time after time in regular fights, and even, I believe, of course, Gate of the God fights now. So I will just do a quick test of that to show you right after I show you my team. And there's also a really epic nether gem that I got, or nether stone, and it's equipped right here. I replaced the other cold Cockatrice that had, I believe, a spark tail, and I made this a little bit more utilitarian with pacing Death's Trail. So I have one Cockatrice casting Corpse Explosion. Where are you? Okay. So, anyway, when an enemy dies, there goes a Corpse Explosion, and it winds up being a chain reaction, and I've always wanted to tie that in when I can with either a Carnage ability where a kill happens, and the creature, once it makes that kill, attacks a couple more times, but I found that pacing Death's Trail winds up being more frequently used, especially with this unicorn that kills itself every one of its turns. So this is what is absolutely awesome about this Cockatrice team. There is Master of Cockatrices, which makes all creatures confused on the enemy side all the time. And then I've got a grand total of 5 traits here. Count them, 5 for my first creature, which is amazing. So blending in just makes the last 3 creatures the same class. I don't use anything class sensitive or specific. So pacing Death's Trail every time an ally dies. 4 enemies get attacked, or at least 4 attacks get made, might be the same attack on the same creature. And then after Master of Cockatrices, there's Stigmartyr. So this creature does lose 10% maximum health after attacking, which is kind of sad, but there's Haunt as well. So I need to make sure that this creature's personality is at least of average attack. So its health is down. What I'm going to do is just use brutality here. And I just want to double check too, because the spell gems that you use wind up having an impact as to whether or not it's okay to lower your intelligence for that creature. So with this one, as you can see, there's a set amount of damage that's done, specifically 200% of the destroyed barrier strength. Then there's Holy Blast. This is used to either shield your creatures against something really tough, or if you're fighting a creature that has lots of defense against even taking about 200% of its health as damage, this will bring the enemy's health down to 25%, and you can chip away at it that way. And then Conquest is, that's also, let's see, I don't believe tied to intelligence. Let me just double check. There we are. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, so that's just a random buff for our creatures, which is fine. And let's see, so we got brutality going on there to increase attack and lower intelligence. I don't want to lower its health. So that's good. Okay, and the crazy gem. Oops. Oh gosh, we gotta get that. Yeah, I just swapped out that Cockatrice, so look at that, rank 98, a little tiny bit more, and I'm at 100. So, let me see. Nope. Okay. So we just kind of got some meathead stuff here. I do have Bloodseeker. So when I cast a Clayman on the unicorn, everything gets a health buff, maximum health boost rather. So I'm just dying to show you this gem that I got, which will make things much easier, I hope. But so this is your usual yada yada yada, percentage bonus here. I'm not happy that there's no attack damage increase except for Sting Martyr and Haunt, which is still very generous. So I'm fine with boosting up the attack that I got for this creature. But take a look at that. This is why this nether stone is rank 515, I think. But Holy Protection on attack, that gives your creatures shelled. So with 1,000 needles, I'm attacking like crazy. And also with Pacing Death's Trail, when one of my creatures does die, this creature will attack 4 times. So even if there's damage done while it attacks to my creatures, it's going to be putting shelled on all of my creatures. So that should be really sweet. I'm going to do a separate test fight just on its own, so that way you don't see me crawling through the whole dungeon just for that. But this Cockatrice is a pretty bad beast anyway, for something that was just created and fused together. So that's that. And then I got Corpse Explosion happening every time an enemy is killed. So there is a lot of resilience when it comes to this team. So as you can see, right here, 50% chance to resurrect all allies with 50% health. Well, all other allies if this creature dies. And then there's Final Excretion. So when enemies die, this creature will cast Corpse Explosion. And so the third Cockatrice, this has Cockadoodle-Doo. It really doesn't have any kind of traits that I'm looking to have added from the Cockatrice race that are very important. Just the Master Sigil is very important, making all enemies confused in addition to being extremely vulnerable to Shadowbringer damage of about 200% plus. So, and then with Secret Recipe, once this creature is resurrected, other creatures get resurrected as well. And then when the unicorn attacks, it resurrects a random ally. Could be something that has a Secret Recipe on it, so that might resurrect all my creatures at the same time. With Terminus, every time this creature starts its turn, it gets killed and then comes back with 100% health, and it has Secret Recipe also. So essentially that says, as long as this creature is alive, all the other creatures get resurrected. So I have used some really throwaway teams. Siege Master really didn't have any kind of resurrection going on, except for maybe 1 or 2 traits. Even then, I think I may have just had an anointment put on there, just to help resurrect in the very unlikely chance that things did get completely killed. So that is all the unicorn is all about, really. The spell gems, very protective. Benediction, mass health recovery, rebirth for any spots where a creature might need it, especially if it has secret recipe on it already. And then lifeline, where the caster recovers 100% health. So I do have Clayman as a spell gem for this lovely beast here, who is the main damage maker right at the start of the game, of the fight rather. Again, that's the Sapphire Drake. Got some defense built up. I don't need speed past starting at the top of the timeline. So, and I know that some of you have seen this mechanic talked about the last 85 times, and sorry about that. But I can't sing the praises of any combo higher than I can about this one, which is Healing Breath. At the start of this turn's creature, it heals one of my creatures for 150% health. Surprise. Always starts the battle at the top of the timeline. And then Improbable Catapult. So all enemies heal themselves, or a random ally, for quite a bit of damage, at least 150% maximum health, plus the additional perks that I've got from Shadowbringer. So easily 200% of any creature's health or false god part's health. So if you're fighting a false god with 5 trillion health, this will be dealing at least 7.5 trillion. So, and then for spell gems, I got Clayman, so I put that on this unicorn, and with the relic, other creatures gain 50% of that additional health. So that works out nicely. I mean, this guy can basically just get killed right at the top of the fight after giving its trait out, and it's fine. I mean, none of these creatures really deal that much damage at all. Otherwise, I mean, Corpse Explosion is probably the most damage that does get dealt, just because Shadowbringer does not really do much enhancement. I do have Proliferation as an anointment when I finally came to realize that it just wasn't enough in the long run, but with fights getting a little bit shorter, I barely need it. So the final creature that I've got here is Friden, and here's the black again. Enemies always have poisoned, blighted, leeching, and mending, so there's additional healing related damage from Shadowbringer. And then there's Asceticism. Make sure that any creatures resurrected by rebirth have some extra shielding. And torn between Scylla and Charybdis, this gives innate traits that all of these guys have to each other, with just the most important being Reinvigoration, where and this is a very cool combo. After this creature dies every turn, it will grant a copy of its innate trait to my other creatures. So as long as any creatures attack past turn 1, they will resurrect a random ally with 50% health. So your chances are really good with 2 secret recipe creatures to be able to resurrect the rest. And this is where the anointments come in. So I have Blood Mage, Blood Caked Blade. So the more damage gets dealt to us, especially in a really crazy boss fight, that's extra damage that will deal back to speed things up. Cleric, I have Guardian Angel. Kind of like my friend Care Bear. Thanks again for even watching this far in. 20% chance to negate enemy attacks and spells. And then Revelation at the end of our turns. Everything has a 30% chance to be resurrected with 50% health. Again, with 2 creatures with Secret Recipe. Very good chance to resurrect everything right at the same time. And then Engineer, we have Grand Finale. When our creatures die, when my creatures die, they cast Corpse Explosion. So everything gets chipped away at pretty well. I mean, even if my creatures do die, there's a free Corpse Explosion every time because of the Unicorn dying because of Terminus. So, and then the last major thing of importance here is Reaver, and I can't tell you how many times this has gotten my not so damagey team into a much better damage dealing position over time. Even if you get to 10 turns, you'll notice that you're not dealing with the same Shadowbringer damage dealing weakness that you have outside of using Healing Breath. So that is pretty much it. I do have a couple of perks unlocked here and there, but I'm still not really fully mastered on this. As you can see, I mean, few people are in the world. I'm sure that there's probably one person out there that's going to correct me and say that they've got all this plus something that makes my build obsolete. Just the nature of RPGs, but there we are. So that is my I just realized I had that trait here, so I'm gonna just redo the title and make it funny as I can, and it's going to tie in to oh boy, just every aspect of this team. So the trait here is the black. It is a Cockatrice team, and there's big damage. So put it all together. Anyway, hopefully that was a fairly solid breakdown of my team. I can't wait to try out that level or rank. 515 Netherstone. The highest one that I had was 427, and that was for Uralos creatures. So we'll see how it goes in a fight very shortly. And thanks so much for watching through all this. I know it was just text-based and strategy-based, but it's very helpful for me to be motivated to keep on making these videos if I can just get a single like or subscribe. So I'll have to publish it, and I'll be back really shortly with a fight. Thanks. Ta-da!